What's happening, everybody? Suburban Hiker checking in on day 10 of my 500-mile walk. It's Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019. I'm getting ready to start hiking into mile number 30. I'm back at St. Patrick's County Park in South Bend, Indiana. Another fantastic day to be on the trails, in the sunshine or in the shade, but I'm out in the woods. The Map My Walk app says 0 distance, 0 duration. Let's start this workout. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I got a couple hours to get some miles in. I don't have a set goal for mileage. This is mile 30 of the 500-mile walk. I'm going to combine trails today. Yesterday I was hiking at Bertrand Park, which is unofficially connected to St. Patrick's Park. The trails are separated by the state line, but that's all that keeps you from bouncing between the two parks. I think I'm going to do the outer loops on both trails. I'll try and put some maps up on this video to show you what I'm doing. They're good trails to walk on. They're well marked. Seems to be quite a few people here. I think kids are out of school for spring break. I can hear kids playing on the playground. But the way this park is laid out, the sound doesn't carry all that much. So it's not a nuisance, or it doesn't ruin the trip. It's kind of nice. Hear people having fun in the background. Here are the two different maps. Bertrand Park map is here on the right. St. Patrick's Park map's here on the left. The one on the left, St. Pat's, doesn't show up very well on camera. I can see it plenty well enough. I'm gonna hope that I can get this enough so that the camera will display what's going on. We are currently right in this area, this little tree line on the north side of St. Patrick's Park, which is the south side of Bertrand Park. This little connective route here hooks in over here. What I'm going to do is head into Bertrand Park first and get on the yellow trail. And then I'm going to take the yellow trail and follow it around. Then I'll come back into St. Pat's and going to do this outside scoop all the way around, and quite possibly all the way out here as well, and then back. I think that's a grand total of about 9 miles. I won't know for sure until I'm done and see what the Map My Walk app says. But that's the general idea. So let's get this stuff happening. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Now we're in Michigan. See how easy that was? Before I get going too far into this video, I want to take a moment and say thanks for being here with me today, checking in to see what I got going on. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click the subscribe button, ring the bell to get notifications so you can get updates. I'm going to upload every day. Leave some comments. If you have any questions or suggestions, we can do that. But more than all that, just thanks for watching. All right, here we are going down the trail. I'm at Bertrand Park, Bertrand County Park. You can Google that and find out some information. I was here yesterday. For those of you who saw yesterday's video, you know I walked the green loop around the park, and then I did the red also. Today I'm going to do the yellow, but I'm also going to combine that with St. Patrick's Park, and I'm going to hike the outer skirt of that, time permitting. Again, I only have about two and a half hours to get it done, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see what I can get in. I'm kind of tired. I slept for crap last night, if I'm being honest. I had some pain in my back between my shoulder blades. It was a real sharp pinch. According to my Fitbit, I only got 2.5 hours of sleep. The yellow trail splits off, brings you down to this little observation deck down by the river, which is a pretty cool feature. I have some steps made out of railroad ties. I always like stuff like that, although I don't usually use them. I walk down the side of them. We're about 20 foot above the river, maybe a little more than that. Cool little observation deck. You can see some residential property across the river. How cool would that be to live over there, huh? Back to where I was at. I only got about 2.5 hours of sleep, and it was not a good 2.5 hours of sleep. I'm kind of used to it. I seem to only sleep about 4 hours a night anyways. As a matter of fact, I only seem to sleep about 4 hours at a time, period. My life's really just a series of naps. I don't sleep well. I never have. A lot of it could be attributable to my love of coffee. I drink coffee morning, noon, and night. Ultimately, if I'm awake, I'm drinking coffee. I'm getting close to the first mile. I missed them. I missed them yesterday. All but one of them. I'll make sure we get this one on.
Distance 1 mile. Total time 31 minutes and 47 seconds. Split pace 31 minutes 40 seconds per mile.
How cool. That's the end of mile 30, everybody. Thus concludes mile number 30 of the 500-mile walk with your host, Suburban Hiker. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Man, 30 miles down already in 10 days. The trail's a little noisy. A lot of oak leaves here at Bertrand Park. Their trails seem to be a lot more natural. There's a lot of duff on the trail. I mentioned yesterday's video that Bertrand seems to be a bit more natural than St. Pat's. St. Pat's seems to be a more manicured trail system. But that very well could just be the difference in plant life. I mean, this is pretty heavily forested area, really. I mean, there's a lot of trees, a lot of oak trees, obviously. It's really interesting the difference in the environment right between Indiana and Michigan. Everything seems to change pretty quick. The Michigan soil seems a bit sandier than Indiana, and it's noticeable it seems almost instantaneously. The topography is a bit hillier, a little more elevation change. What a cool little creek this is, or stream, or brook, whatever you want to call it. For those of you who saw the video from the LaSalle Trail hike, you'll know what I'm talking about. Alright. Anyhow, I gotta get back to moving along here. One of these days, soon, I think I'll make a video where I'm not actually even hiking. I'm just goofing around out in the woods. doing cool stuff, seeing what I can see. Going up a set of steps. Here, let me flip this around so you can see it. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'll take a day where I'm out in the woods and not trying to cover any mileage. We'll just look at all the sights and zoom in on all the cool stuff. I also think a lot of my sleep habits are the way they are because of my life as a performing musician and holding down a day job. My days and nights flip upside down. Seems every week. Sometimes in the middle of the week. Sometimes on the weekend. Play a show and not get home till 5 in the morning. Sleep for a couple hours and get up and do my thing. Even during the week when I have shows, there are some nights I just go straight to work from the show. Tree down. That's enough talk about my lack of sleep. Man, that's a cool ravine down there. I don't think you can see or appreciate just how steep that is. How far down it is. It doesn't transfer over the camera well. Okay. I know I said I was going to stop talking about being tired. But it's a strange kind of tired. I'm not sleepy. My body's a little tired, but oddly enough, and not so much really, it's not odd, that's the way it works. But since I've been walking the last 10 days, my energy and drive has skyrocketed. And that's kind of part of why I'm not sleeping the best at nights. My brain is functioning really well with clarity, and I'm figuring stuff out left and right. I'm having a great time making these videos, and my focus is really zeroed in on getting this stuff done. I talked in yesterday's video about the troubles I'm having with the technical side, and if I'm going to be able to continue to make them and get everything completed in time. But it's happening, and I'm not really sleepy. You know, again, the energy is really boosted since I've been walking every day. And of course, that's the effect of walking. And you don't have to walk as much as I am. You can walk more, or even just less, really. You know, 15, 20 minutes a day is great. I've always walked a lot, even when I was a kid, in my teen years. Oh, we walked everywhere anyways. Walked to and from school. We could have rode the bus, but yeah, you know how buses are. We'd rather walk. Too much chaos on a school bus. And we had fun walking anyways. Usually have one of us would swing by another's house on the way to school, and by the time we get to school, there's 15 of us walking in a pack, being goofy kids. But even in my adult life, I continue to walk. In my heyday of walking and exercise, about 10 years ago, I was walking 5 to 10 miles a day, and I was working out hard. I did a lot of exercise then. I was doing the P90X exercise program. I've done that several times. It's a great program, but it's way too much for a maintenance style exercise program. Really, if you just work out a few times a week, 20-30 minutes a day at a shot, that's all it takes. But P90X, and they did a good job of stating that they were not a life program. It was a 90-day program. That's where the 90 comes into play in P90X. Anyhow, I just really, the energy boost I'm getting from the walks has been fantastic. And I don't feel like laying in bed sleeping. I want to get up, fire up the coffee pot, and get working on the videos with the editing and such, and new ideas, and figuring out how I can implement the ideas for my next videos. But I also notice that I have more energy to do the other stuff that I need to do around the house. Groceries, cooking, cleaning, you know, all the stuff that makes being an adult not fun. I'm more inclined to get that stuff done, it seems, now that I've been walking. The idea of just sitting down and not doing anything is really difficult. I don't sit well anyways. I get antsy, fidgety. I want to get up and do stuff, feel like I should be doing stuff. But it's just been cool. Let me settle down for a minute here. There we go. I'm really hoping the sun stays out today. It didn't yesterday. It was supposed to, but it clouded up and the wind picked up considerably. By the time I was done walking, my ears were pretty cold. I'm not overly geared up for today. Again, it's 50 degrees and sunny. So I'm wearing a t-shirt and another long sleeve shirt on top of that, and that's plenty warm enough. No hat today. Thank goodness. I'm tired of wearing those hats. About the end of August, about the end of September, beginning October, I start wearing a hat. And then I wear it until spring. I get tired of wearing them. I am at 1.98 miles. Just about to hit that second mile for the day. Mile number 31. 1.99. Man, what a great day.
Total distance 2 miles. Total time 52 minutes and 57 seconds. Split pace 21 minutes 9 seconds per mile.
There you go, 2 miles for the day. That's mile number 31 in my 500-mile walk. So that leaves me with 469 more miles to go. I'm gonna be at the end of that in no time. Heck yeah, how cool. 2 miles in. We're getting there. 31 miles down. I'm just about to cross back over into St. Patrick's Park. And then we'll see how much of that I get done. So I'll have plenty of time to hike about. Still great weather. The breeze comes and goes, as is often the case in the spring in the greater Michiana area. For those of you that don't know, Michiana is the border between Michigan and Indiana. So we call it Michiana. Moving along at a pretty good clip. Usually when I hike, I do tend to go pretty fast. I have to catch myself. See the little chipmunk? Squirrel? Is it a squirrel or a chipmunk? I don't know. Anyhow, I usually get going pretty quick. I don't take many breaks. I don't know why I hike that way, but I do. I have to remind myself to slow down and take a look around and see what's going on. I get lost in thought. What happens, I do believe, I stop paying attention to what I'm doing and start focusing more on what I'm thinking about. Next thing you know, I'm breathing heavy and walking really quickly. So I have to keep an eye on that so I can pace myself. Here's something pretty cool. A vine growing around a tree, but the tree is growing around the vine at the same time. How cool is that? Huh. How interesting. This is Bertrand Park. Here's one of the barriers separating Bertrand from St. Patrick's. We'll cross right over that. Oh, look here. You even have a sign. Entering St. Patrick's County Park. How cool. And then on the other side of that sign, entering Madeline Bertrand County Park. They're separate, but they're together. How cool is that? Guy standing there on the river playing some type of wind instrument. Appeared to be handmade. I say that only because it was crooked as could be. Looked like it was made out of a piece of driftwood. You can still hear it kind of reverberating over the river. I could take a nap listening to that. It was really cool. We're closing in on, I'm at 2.90 miles alongside the St. Joe River here in St. Patrick's Park. We were in Bertrand. Now we're back in St. Pat's. I'm telling you, Google those places. A lot of interesting, cool stuff to do at both parks. Whether you want to go here by yourself, bring the family, bring a date. There's all kinds of cool stuff at both places. Getting close. The end of another mile.
Total distance 3 miles. Total time 1 hour 14 minutes and 14 seconds. Split pace 21 minutes 19 seconds per mile. Kapow!
There you go. Thus concludes mile number 32 of my 500-mile walk. As we cross over the brook, feeding into the St. Joe River. Man, oh man, zipping right through these miles. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna have to do after 500. Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Heck yeah. Drop some comments, suggestions. I'm open to ideas. I like good ideas. Doesn't matter where they come from. If it's a good idea, I'll listen. Well, I gotta tell you, my right shin is feeling pretty sore right about now. It started to ache shortly after I got started. I'm guessing muscle fatigue. I mean, I have been putting in decent miles. I mean, I know 3 and 4 miles isn't a whole lot, but I've been going fairly consistently after not having done any hiking since last autumn. But I think ultimately that 2.5 hours of sleep last night is not lending itself tomatoes. I do believe that is the cause of that shin pain. I get that sometimes too when I take the dogs for a walk. The dogs walk faster than I do at the beginning of the walk, and if I try to keep up with them, it will cause my shins to hurt a little bit. It's muscle fatigue. It's not structural. It's that little bit of muscle that runs up the front of the shin. It's getting kind of tired. I should pause and stretch it out a little bit, rotate my ankle. I probably will here in a little bit. As soon as I start limping a little more. Mind over matter. If you work at it, and it's dangerous, but if you work at it, your body will give out long before your mind will. Most people give up because their mind tells them to. Their body could do so much more if their mind will let them. But you can train your mind to make your body overcome that. Trail joggers with their puppy dog. I did pause for a moment, stretch out my shin. It feels like a shin cramp, a cramp in my shin. Stretching it out helped a lot. Slowed down for a little bit. Took it easy. Still hurts though. Whatever. Nothing a little bit of coffee won't take care of when I get home. Heck yeah. I love that coffee. I'm purposely not talking about coffee too much in these videos. I talk about coffee all the time because I love it. Morning, noon, and night. Go Team Coffee. Heck yeah. I've passed quite a few people today. Probably about 15 hikers, like 10 disc golf players over there at Bertrand Park. A lot of people out here today. Cool, I'm at mile 3.97. Just about wrap up another mile. I don't know how much farther I'll go today. Starting to get hungry. We'll see. I might do some more. Here it comes. Are you listening?
Total distance 4 miles. Total time 1 hour 34 minutes and 9 seconds. Split pace 19 minutes 53 seconds per mile.
There you go. 33 miles down. How cool is that? 467 more miles to go. Woohoo! Suburban Hiker. Knocking the miles out. On a great day. Out on the trails. 33 miles down. Things are working out for me in a fashion that I can probably start getting more miles per day, at least for a little while. I kind of work on a time constraint, but stuff's opening up for me a little bit, so I might have time to do more, maybe an average 5 to 8 miles a day. We'll see what happens. Can't sacrifice all my responsibilities. I wish I could though. See, now you'll notice these trails here at St. Pat's seem to be very clear of any foliage, dead foliage. They must come out and leaf blow these trails or something. Can't imagine any other way. There's very little oak leaves. There are all kinds of leaves on the sides. It's not like there's a lack of oak leaves. They're just not on the trail. But at Bertrand Park, well, they're all over the trail. They must do some type of maintenance to it. Whether they come out here with leaf blowers or who knows what. Still good hiking trails though. I like them. No doubt about that. Now this little swampy area here. That's interesting because we're considerably above the river level. I don't know where that water would come from, whether it's a spring or part of a stream maybe that cuts through. The park is on its way to the St. Joe River. I don't know, but it's cool. I don't think it's snow melt. We didn't get that much snow this year. Love the sound of all these birds. How cool. I'll probably do several more videos here at St. Patrick's Park and talk about more of the features. There's still a good amount of trails here that I have not gone on yet in this series of videos. And of course, some of the other amenities that the park offers. I'll discuss some of that. They have barns and they have a concert barn. I've actually played some shows here before. I'll talk about those. Those were fun shows. Here's one of the ponds here. They have several ponds. I'm not sure if you can fish in this one or not. Oh, I heard something move in there. There's a deer track around here. This pond sits on the side of the entrance road to the park. I came out of the trails and walked on the side of the road for a little stretch. Now I'm cutting in. Let's see if I can get through some pine trees here maybe. I don't think I want to bother with it. A lot of undergrowth in there. Maybe I'll do that on another day. It's a little breezy out here. Kind of in an open field. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about, what I'm looking at. I am coming right back in to the pine trees that I was in when we started. How cool is that? According to the Map My Walk app, the yellow trail there that runs through Bertrand Park was approximately, I think it was 2.3 or 2.2 miles. And according to the Map My Walk app, the trail that runs the perimeter of St. Pat's is just over 2.3 miles. How cool. You hear those birds? That's always so neat, listening to the birds when you're walking. Currently at 4.7 6 miles. So I only have about a quarter mile to go before I hit 5 for the day. And that's where I'm going to cut it off. 5 miles. I'm starting to run out of time. I need to get home, figure out dinner so everybody can eat. And I can get some coffee. Here we come. Check it out. It's
Total distance 5 miles. Total time 1 hour 55 minutes and 31 seconds. Split pace 21 minutes 20 seconds per mile.
There you go. 5 miles for the day. See how easy that was? That's the end of mile number 34 on my 500-mile walk. I'm going to cut back here towards the car. That leaves me with 466 more miles to go. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys are here. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Leave me some comments, some questions. Share the videos. Like the videos, all that good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up and say, Suburban Hiker, checking out. We'll see you tomorrow.